Hi, you're watching Hindustan Times and I'm Aditi Prasad. The government guidelines on Lockdown 2.0 are out, and we, over the next 3 minutes, are going to bring you a quick cheat sheet of what is allowed this time and what is not allowed this time. Of course, let's first take you through the things that are going to be allowed post 20th of April, which is 5 days from now. So, agricultural and related activities will resume in a bid to generate jobs for daily wagers and others. Industries operating in rural areas will be allowed with strict social distancing norms. Secondly, activities of marine and inland fisheries, animal husbandry activities, including the supply chain of milk, milk products, poultry, livestock farming, tea, coffee, rubber plantations, all that will be allowed. Industries operating in rural areas, including the food processing industries, construction of roads, irrigation projects, buildings and industrial projects in rural areas, works under Manrega, etc., have all been allowed by the government this time around, of course, with strict implementation of social distancing and masks. The interstate transport of goods, both essential and non-essential items, will be allowed after April 20th. Dhabas on highways and truck repair shops can also reopen post April 20th. Of course, self-employment service providers like electricians, plumbers, IT repairs will be allowed to operate. IT and IT-enabled services, e-commerce, data and call centers for government activities, and online teaching and distance learning are all permitted activities. Of course, like the past 21 days, hospitals, dispensaries, pharmaceutical units, they will be allowed to operate and function as always. Bank branches will operate. LPG, CNG units, their transport will remain operational. Your local kirana stores, your milk booths, your poultry stores will, of course, continue to operate with social distancing measures. Now, for a quick word on what will remain prohibited till the 3rd of May 2020. I start, of course, with domestic and international air travel, which is restricted till now and will continue to remain restricted till the 3rd of May, except for security purposes. Ditto for bus transport and all passenger transport by train. No interstate or inter-district movement of individuals. Remember, goods will be allowed post April 20th, but for individuals, that interstate movement remains prohibited. Educational training, coaching institutes shall remain closed. Industrial and commercial activities are all prohibited except for essential services and for those which will be permitted beyond April 20th. Of course, hospitality services will remain shut, and so will taxis, auto rickshaws, cycle rickshaws, cab aggregator services, all of that will not be allowed. Cinema halls, malls, shopping complexes, gyms, sports complexes, swimming pools, entertainment parks, theaters, bars, auditoriums, all these will continue to remain shut till the 3rd of May. Same for social, political, sports, entertainment, any academic or cultural or religious functions. In fact, religious congregations are strictly prohibited till the 3rd of May. And of course, in the case of funerals, not more than 20 people will be allowed to attend. You can have your funerals, but not more than 20 people will be allowed to attend, and they will obviously have to follow all social distancing norms. Of course, there's one last thing that you all need to know, and that is that there are several national guidelines that the government has mentioned in its guidelines, such as mandatory masks at all workplaces and public places, health and hygiene measures such as sanitizers, opting for staggered shifts, imposing fines for spitting, and all of that. These, guidelines, the national guidelines, need to be followed by all citizens, even for those people who will be allowed post April 20th to resume some part of their activities. And individuals violating these guidelines, these national guidelines, will face penal action. Of course, we'll keep coming back to you with more updates as and when the government revises these guidelines for the implementation and execution of Lockdown 2. Till then, of course, stay safe and stay updated with all the news from HindustanTimes.com.